She gave him her lunch on the hungriest day of his life, and it cost her everything. But 25 years later, that sandwich became a $63 million empire. Amara, 8 years old and starving herself, saw the boy collapsing by the dumpster. Her mother had just died. They had nothing, but she gave him her only meal anyway, every day for 7 months. No one knew. No one saw. She just did it. Before he vanished, the boy made an impossible promise. "When I grow up, I'll find you. I'll make sure you never go hungry again." She laughed through her own hunger pangs, then tore her sandwich wrapper in half. "Keep this, so you remember someone cared." 25 years dissolved into silence. The boy, Elijah, became a tech billionaire. Spent 6 years searching, bought databases, hired investigators, traced soup kitchens across 3 states. Found nothing. Tonight, he'd walk into a city council hearing in Seattle. Amara would be there, testifying against his development project, still carrying her half of that wrapper in her wallet. Neither knew they were 30 seconds from collision. Elijah crosswoke at 5:47 a.m. in a minimalist penthouse that felt like a mausoleum. Wall-to-wall glass. Puget Sound stretched gray and endless below. Sunrise tried to break through clouds. He never noticed, never cared. His coffee maker cost $12,000. Imported from Switzerland. He pressed a button. Walked away before it finished brewing. 73 designer shirts hung in his closet. All black. All identical. He grabbed one without looking. The apartment was silent. Always silent. No pictures. No quotums. No evidence a human lived here. It looked like a showroom. Felt like a tomb. His phone vibrated. His CO. Board meeting at 10. The waterfront deal cleared. $19 million. Elijah typed back, "Good. $19 million. He felt absolutely nothing. He walked to his private office. Unlocked the bottom drawer. Inside, half a torn sandwich wrapper in a temperature-controlled glass case. Faded. Crinkled. 25 years old. The words Turkey and Swiss barely visible. This was the only thing that mattered. He touched the glass gently, like it might disintegrate. Where is she? The same question. Every single morning. For 25 years. The board meeting was theater. Congratulations. Champagne. Applause for another record quarter. Elijah smiled. Said the right words. Played the part perfectly. Inside a black hole. His business partner, David, cornered him after. "You okay? You seem distant." "I'm fine." "You've been saying that for 6 years. Ever since you started this obsession with Seattle soup kitchens." Elijah said nothing. "Why?" David pushed. "You're buying properties in the worst neighborhoods. There's no ROI for years. What's the play?" "I have my reasons." David studied him. "This is about that girl, isn't it? The one from when you were kids." Elijah's jaw clenched. "Drop it. Maybe she doesn't want to be found, man. Maybe she's—" "I said drop it." David held up his hands. "Just don't let this consume you." Too late. It had consumed him 25 years ago. Elijah sat alone that afternoon, opened a file on his computer. 6 years. For private investigation firms. Over $800,000 spent. Nothing. The last report, dated 3 weeks ago. "We've exhausted all leads. Amara with no last name, no birth certificate, no records. The homeless population from 1999 Seattle left no digital footprint. She could be anywhere. She could be dead. Recommend closing the case." Elijah pulled up a map of Seattle. 17 red pins marked his properties. All within 3 miles of the Pioneer Square area. If Amara survived, if she stayed in Seattle, she'd be there. Feeding people. That's who she was. So he'd bought buildings. Renovated them. Created community kitchens. Hired outreach workers. Went to every food bank meeting. Hoping. Waiting. His phone buzzed. Reminder. City Council hearing tonight, 7 p.m. Public testimony on waterfront development project. Elijah usually sent lawyers to these hearings. But something made him type, "I'll attend personally." He didn't know why. Just a feeling. The memories came uninvited. They always did. When her mom died, the car got impounded. Amara ran before the police could take her. She knew what happened to kids in the system. Her mom had told her stories, so she survived. 8 years old. Alone. She slept in doorways. Ate at soup kitchens when she could find them. Sometimes went days without food. That day near Pike Place, she had a sandwich. Turkey and cheese. From a church food program. The only food she'd get until tomorrow. And she saw the boy. He looked worse than her. So thin his bones showed through his shirt. Lips cracked and bleeding. Eyes sunken. He was dying. Amara stood there, frozen. Her survival instinct screamed, "Eat your sandwich. You need it." But her mother's voice whispered, "Baby, we may have nothing, but we're still human. We still choose kindness." Amara looked at her sandwich, then at the boy, then walked toward him. "Hi," Amara said softly. The boy looked up, tried to speak. Nothing came out. Amara unwrapped her sandwich, felt her stomach scream in protest. "Take it," she said. "You need it more than me." The boy stared at the sandwich like it was a mirage. "Take it," Amara insisted, holding it out. His shaking hands grabbed it. He ate it in 4 desperate bites, started crying. Amara's own stomach twisted with hunger. She wrapped her arms around herself. "What's your name?" she asked. "Elijah," he managed through tears.
I'm Amara.
"You okay, Elijah?" He shook his head. "And no." Amara's heart shattered. "I'll come back tomorrow. I'll bring you food if I can find some." Elijah's eyes widened. "You will. I promise." She walked away, looked back 3 times. Elijah sat clutching the empty wrapper, watching her disappear into the crowd. Elijah blinked. The memory faded. He looked at the clock. 6:43 p.m. The city council hearing started at 7 o'clock. Something told him tonight was different. He grabbed his coat, touched the wrapper in his desk drawer one more time. "I'm coming, Amara. I don't know if you're there, but I'm coming." What Elijah didn't know, Amara would be there. And she'd been thinking about him every single day for 25 years, too. Elijah arrived at City Hall at 6:55 p.m. The building smelled like old wood and bureaucracy. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Inside the chamber, about 80 people. Activists, food security advocates, business owners, angry residents. Elijah straightened his tie. His $4,000 suit felt obscene here. A volunteer at the check-in table looked up. "Name?" "Elijah Cross. Cross Ventures." Her expression shifted, hardened. "The developer." "Yes. Most developers send lawyers." "I'm not most developers." She handed him a visitor badge. "We'll see." Elijah walked in. Heads turned. Whispers spread like wildfire. "That's him. The billionaire. Probably here to bulldoze everything and build condos." Elijah found a seat in the back row. An older woman stood at the front. Gray hair, tired eyes, strong voice. "Good evening."
I'm Councilwoman Patricia Moore.
"Tonight we'll hear public testimony regarding the proposed waterfront development project." She continued, "Cross Ventures wants to build mixed-income housing, but we've heard promises before." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room. "Mr. Cross will present his proposal. Then we'll open the floor to public comment." Patricia looked directly at Elijah. "Mr. Cross." Elijah stood, walked to the front. 80 pairs of eyes tracked him like lasers. He opened his presentation. Architectural renderings appeared on the screen. Beautiful buildings, green spaces, community centers. "Good evening. I'm Elijah Cross. I grew up not far from here. I know what broken promises look like. That got attention. I'm proposing mixed-income housing. 60% of units reserved for low-income residents. Rents tied to area median income. No displacement." Surprised murmurs. "We'll renovate the existing community center. New kitchen facilities, food programs, expanded services. All funded by my company." Next slide. "We'll create job training programs, culinary training, Food service. Hire locally. Invest in this neighborhood's people, not just its property values. He paused. I know you don't trust me, but I'm not here to gentrify. I'm here to give back. Hands shot up immediately. Patricia pointed. Yes, James. An older man stood. Mr. Cross, what's affordable to a billionaire versus someone making $15 an hour? Units will be priced using HUD guidelines. We're partnering with the Housing Authority. Rent will be 30% of income, maximum. More hands. A woman in her 60s stood. What about current businesses? Lease protections. Relocation assistance. First right of refusal to return. Another voice, from the middle. Sharp, clear, furious. How do we know you'll keep these promises? Developers always gentrify us out. Elijah turned toward the voice and froze. A black woman, early 30s, professional attire, natural hair pulled back, standing with a notepad, fire in her eyes. Her voice, something about her voice. I work with food insecurity programs in this city, she continued. I've seen promises broken over and over. So how do we know you're different? Their eyes met. Elijah's heart stopped. Can't be. I'm a food security advocate, she said. I see families go hungry every month. Your buildings mean nothing if our most vulnerable can't afford to eat. Elijah stared. 25 years. But the eyes, the way she spoke, the fire. He found his voice. You're absolutely right to be skeptical. May I ask your name? Amara Jenkins. The room tilted. Elijah gripped the podium to stay upright. Amara Jenkins. After 6 years of searching, she was here, 30 feet away, but she didn't recognize him. He'd changed, filled out, confident, wealthy, not the skeletal 9-year-old she'd fed. Patricia's voice cut through the static. Mr. Cross? Are you all right? Elijah blinked. Yes, sorry. Amara Jenkins, you said. Amara looked confused. Yes. Why? Elijah's hands trembled on the podium. Not here. Not in front of 80 people. But he couldn't stop. Did you grow up in Seattle? Around Pioneer Square. Amara's expression shifted. Guarded. Yes. How did you know that? Elijah's voice cracked. Do you remember? About 25 years ago? Giving your lunch to a boy behind the market? The room went silent. Amara went completely still. Her notepad slipped from her fingers. A white boy, Elijah continued, voice breaking. 9 years old. Starving. You gave him your only sandwich. Every day for 7 months. Amara's hand went to her wallet. To half a sandwich wrapper she'd kept for 25 years. Elijah, she whispered. Elijah nodded. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Elijah Cross, she breathed. It's me, he said. I came back. The room erupted. Confusion. Gasps. People talking over each other. But Elijah only saw Amara. 25 years collapsed into nothing. You're alive, Amara said, voice breaking. I told you I'd find you, Elijah said. I told you I'd make sure you never went hungry again. Amara's hand covered her mouth. Tears spilled over. Patricia stood. Let's take a 15-minute recess. People filed out, whispering, staring. Elijah and Amara didn't move. Finally, alone, they walked toward each other. Met in the middle of the chamber. Elijah, Amara's voice broke. I looked for you. For years. I thought you were dead. I looked for you too, Elijah said. For 6 years. Spent everything I had trying to find you. You're really here. I kept my promise. Amara reached for her wallet. Pulled out half a sandwich wrapper with shaking hands. Faded. Torn. The words Turkey and Swiss barely visible. Elijah pulled his keychain from his pocket. The other half. They held them together. A perfect match after 25 years. Both started crying. They found an empty conference room. Door closed. Away from curious eyes. Amara couldn't stop staring. I can't believe it's you. I can't believe you're alive. I thought. After all these years. I almost wasn't, Amara said quietly. If it wasn't for people who helped, I barely made it. Elijah leaned forward. Do you remember? All of it. Every single day, Amara whispered. I've thought about you every day for 25 years. Tell me, Elijah said. Tell me what you remember. Amara closed her eyes. The first day, you looked so small, so scared. I'd seen you there for 2 days already, just sitting by that dumpster, not moving. She opened her eyes. My friend from the shelter said you were dangerous, said I should stay away. But I saw your eyes. You weren't dangerous. You were dying. I had a sandwich that day, Amara continued. Turkey and cheese. From a church program. It was literally the only food I'd get until the next day. Her voice dropped. And I gave it to you. I ate that sandwich so slowly, Elijah said, trying to make it last. It was the first food I'd had in 3 days. You cried while you ate it. Elijah's throat tightened. Because someone had finally seen me. You came back the next day, Amara said. I promised I would. Amara stood, walked to the window. That second day was harder, because I knew what I was choosing. First day was impulse. Second day was a decision. I had to skip breakfast so I'd have my lunch to give you. Had to tell the church program I didn't need food that day, even though I was starving. Elijah hadn't known that. Amara. By the third day I'd made a routine, she said. I'd go to the soup kitchen early in the morning. Eat there. Save my lunch from the church program. Bring it to you around noon. She turned back. I was 8 years old, starving myself, and I chose to feed you instead. Why? Elijah asked. You were suffering too. Because you were worse off than I was, Amara said simply. I at least knew where the soup kitchens were, how to find food. You didn't know anything. You were just dying. Tears fell. I couldn't watch you die. Do you remember the conversations? Amara asked. Elijah smiled through tears. Every word. You'd tell me about your mom, about before she died, the pancakes she used to make. You'd tell me I was smart, Elijah said, that I could survive if I just held on. I meant it. I didn't believe you. I know, Amara said softly. That's why I kept saying it. Silence hung between them. Week 4, Amara said. Some older homeless men saw me bringing you food. Tried to steal it. Elijah remembered. You fought them off. Got hit. They were twice my size. But they weren't taking your food. Elijah's chest ached. You got hurt protecting me. You were worth protecting. Amara sat back down. Then you got really sick. January. You'd eaten something bad from a dumpster. Elijah closed his eyes. Food poisoning. I thought I was going to die. I thought so too, Amara admitted. I begged at 3 different restaurants until someone gave me clean food. Soup, crackers, water. I brought it to you every 4 hours for a week. Sat with you while you recovered. Elijah opened his eyes. I never knew you did that. You weren't supposed to. Amara's voice broke. I watched you sleep, made sure you were breathing, brought you water whenever you woke up. You saved my life. We saved each other, Amara said, because feeding you gave me purpose. I'd lost my mom, had no one, but you needed me. That kept me going. Elijah reached across, took her hand. 7 months, he said. 212 days, Amara corrected. I counted. Even when you were hungry yourself. Even when you had no food to share. Why did you do it? Amara looked at him. Because you deserved to eat. And because no one else was feeding you. I would have died without you. I know. They sat in that truth. The last day, Amara said, voice barely a whisper. That was the hardest. Social services finally caught me, Elijah said. They were taking me to a group home in Tacoma. I knew. You told me the night before. You were so scared they'd never let you come back. Elijah squeezed her hand. You brought me so much that day. Everything I could carry. 3 sandwiches, apples, crackers, water, a granola bar I'd been saving. You tore the sandwich wrapper in half. Amara touched her wallet. and kept half for myself. You said, keep this, so you remember someone cared. Someone fed you when you were hungry. I wanted you to remember. Amara's voice broke. To know you weren't worthless. That someone saw you. Someone chose you. Elijah pulled out his keychain. The wrapper half still attached. Faded but intact. I never threw it away. Not once. 25 years. Amara's sob broke free. You kept it. I kept everything. Every word. Every moment. Every ounce of hope you gave me. They stood. Embraced. Held each other like they'd needed to for 25 years. Thank you, Elijah whispered. Thank you for feeding me. For saving me. Thank you for surviving. Amara whispered back. Thank you for remembering. They pulled apart. Both crying. Both laughing. I made you a promise that day, Elijah said. You said you'd find me when you grew up. Make sure I never went hungry again. I meant it. Their eyes held. Something passed between them. Recognition. Connection. Something that started 25 years ago behind a market. A knock on the door. Patricia's voice. Folks, people are waiting. Amara called back. 5 more minutes. She turned to Elijah. What do we do now? I don't know, Elijah said. But I'm not losing you again. I'm not going anywhere. Good. Because we have 25 years to catch up on. Amara smiled. And a city council hearing to finish. Can we talk after? Please. Yes. But Elijah, this project, is it really about helping people? Or about finding me? Elijah was quiet. Then both. I wanted to help because of what you taught me. But I also hoped if I was here enough, feeding people, I'd find you. You built all this looking for me. I built all this trying to become the person you believed I could be. Amara's eyes filled again. You did it. Because of you. They straightened their clothes. Wiped their tears. Ready? Amara asked. Elijah held out his hand. Together. Amara took it. Together. They walked back into the council chamber. Hand in hand. 80 faces turned. Everyone had heard whispers. Patricia stood. Shall we continue? Elijah nodded. But he didn't let go of Amara's hand. He addressed the room. What you just witnessed is why this project exists. 25 years ago, I was homeless. Starving. Amara fed me. Every day. For 7 months. The room went silent. Everything I built, I did thinking about her. This development isn't about profit. It's about creating the kind of city that feeds kids like we were. Applause started. Slow at first. Then growing. The meeting continued for another 90 minutes. By the end, the council voted unanimously to approve the project with community oversight. As people filed out, many stopped to shake Elijah's hand. To hug Amara. Finally, the room emptied. Just the two of them remained. That was intense, Amara said. I didn't mean to make a scene. I'm glad you did. She smiled. But now we need to talk. They sat facing each other. Elijah spoke first. I want to help you. Please let me. Help me how? Student loans. Rent. Whatever you need. Amara held up her hand. Stop. But I have so much and you. I didn't give you that sandwich so you'd owe me. Amara interrupted. I did it because it was right. Elijah looked down. I just want to give back. Then give back to the community, Amara said. To kids like we were. But don't try to pay me off like I'm a debt. She leaned closer. I need to know something. Did that boy I fed grow into a good man? Elijah met her eyes. I tried. Show me. Elijah pulled out his phone. Showed her photos. Community kitchens across 4 cities. Food programs for homeless youth. Meal delivery services. Cooking classes. I employ people others won't hire, he said. People with records. People experiencing homelessness. Anyone who needs a chance. Amara scrolled through the images. Tears formed. You remembered everything I said. How could I forget? You saved my soul. That was intense, Amara said. I didn't mean to make a scene. I'm glad you did. She smiled. But now we need to talk. They sat facing each other. Elijah spoke first. I want to help you. Please let me. Help me how? Student loans. Rent. Whatever you need. Amara held up her hand. Stop. But I have so much and you. I didn't give you that sandwich so you'd owe me. Amara interrupted. I did it because it was right. Elijah looked down. I just want to give back. Then give back to the community, Amara said. To kids like we were. But don't try to pay me off like I'm a debt. She leaned closer. I need to know something. Did that boy I fed grow into a good man? Elijah met her eyes. I tried. Show me. Elijah pulled out his phone. Showed her photos. Community kitchens across 4 cities. Food programs for homeless youth. Meal delivery services. Cooking classes. I employ people others won't hire, he said. People with records. People experiencing homelessness. Anyone who needs a chance. Amara scrolled through the images. Tears formed. You remembered everything I said. How could I forget? You saved my soul, not just my body. Amara looked up. This is what I need to know. Not your bank account. That you became someone who cares. Does that make you proud? Silence settled between them. Then Elijah said quietly, I told you I'd make sure you never went hungry again. Amara laughed softly. We were kids. I know, but I meant it. And I still mean it. She stopped laughing. Elijah, I'm not asking you to marry me right now, he said quickly. That would be insane. We just reconnected. He leaned forward. But let me take you to dinner. Let me get to know the woman you became. The advocate. The fighter. Amara hesitated. I don't know if this is a good idea. Why not? Because you're a billionaire and I'm a food security advocate who can barely pay rent. We're from completely different worlds now. Elijah took both her hands. You have what I've been searching for. That's everything. Amara's eyes filled. This is crazy. I've waited 25 years. Can you give me a chance? She studied his face. Saw the boy she remembered. One dinner, she said. As friends. No promises. Elijah grinned. As friends. I can do that. And whatever happens between us, this project continues. You help this community regardless. Deal. He paused. Though for the record, I'm already in love with you. Amara's breath caught. Elijah, I've loved you since I was 9 years old, he said. We'll see if you still feel that way after you actually know me. Amara stood. I should go. It's late. Elijah stood too. Can I drive you home? I can take the bus. Please. Amara nodded. Okay, just a ride. They drove in comfortable silence. Amara directed him to a modest apartment building in Beacon Hill. Elijah pulled up. This is it. Home sweet home. She opened the door, then turned back. Thank you, Elijah, for coming back. For remembering. Thank you for giving me a reason to. Amara smiled. Good night. Good night. She walked inside, turned and waved. Elijah watched until she was safe. Then he looked at the wrapper on his keychain. I found her. Now I just have to win her heart. Upstairs, Amara leaned against her door, hand over her heart. I'm falling, she whispered. I'm really falling for him. For the first time in 25 years, the impossible felt possible. Over the next 3 weeks, Elijah and Amara met 7 times. Officially, discussing the waterfront development project. Unofficially, they couldn't stay away from each other. Every meeting ran long. 1 hour turned into 4. Business dissolved into stories, laughter, shared pain. Elijah noticed everything about her. The way she checked her phone constantly, always available for her clients. The way she ate lunch quickly, like food might disappear. The way she always ordered the cheapest thing on the menu. He wanted to fix everything, but she'd said no to money, so he found other ways. Every meeting, Elijah brought lunch. Always sandwiches, turkey and cheese like she'd given him. Always 2. Always insisted she eat. Amara noticed on the 3rd meeting. You always bring sandwiches. They remind me of the best time in my life, Elijah said softly. Amara's eyes filled. She understood. One afternoon, Amara mentioned the community kitchen needed supplies. We're running out of food. Can only serve 50 meals a day instead of 100. We need at least $8,000 for supplies. Let me look into that, Elijah said. For days later, a truck arrived. 10,000 pounds of food. Rice, beans, canned goods, fresh produce, meat. Amara cornered him. How much did you pay? I found a supplier who owed me a favor. You paid for it yourself. Does it matter? People can eat now. Amara let it go, but she was watching him carefully. During their 6th meeting, a mother with 2 kids knocked on Amara's office door. Teresa, 28, lost her job, facing eviction. Kids hadn't eaten in 2 days. Ms. Jenkins, I don't know what to do. The food bank is closed today. My kids are so hungry. Amara's frustration was visible. I'll get you some food right now. Wait here. After Teresa left with groceries, Amara put her head in her hands. This happens every week. Emergency food needs. And we never have enough. Elijah said carefully, what if there was an emergency food pantry, available 24/7? That would be a miracle. But who'd fund it? Who'd staff it? Let me make some calls. 1 week later, news broke. An anonymous donor pledged $2 million to create emergency food distribution centers across Seattle. 5 locations. Open 24/7. No questions asked. Anyone who needed food could come. Amara called Elijah. Was that you? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. Silence. Does it help people? Elijah asked. Yes. Then does it matter who paid for it? Amara's chest tightened. He was feeding people, just like she'd taught him. Teresa came back the next week, cried as she thanked them. Her kids had food now. She'd found a new job. Meanwhile, Elijah started appearing at the community kitchen. Not for meetings, just there, serving meals, washing dishes. I was in the area, he'd say. His office was 40 minutes away. Amara's coworker whispered, Girl, that man is in love with you. We're just friends. Friends don't look at each other like that. One evening, walking to her car, Amara's stomach growled loudly. She hadn't eaten all day, given her lunch to a client who needed it more. Elijah heard it. When did you last eat? I'm fine. Amara. This morning, I think. Elijah immediately pulled out his phone. Ordered food delivery. Chinese, Indian, pizza, Thai, everything. Elijah, that's too much. I told you I'd make sure you never went hungry again, he said quietly. I meant it. Amara's heart cracked open. He remembered everything. What Elijah didn't know. Amara was falling too, despite her fears, despite the impossibility of it. And soon, he'd show her exactly how deep his feelings went. Elijah called Amara 4 days later. I want to take you to dinner. Not business. Just us. Amara hesitated. Elijah, please. You said one dinner as friends. I'm cashing that in. Silence. Okay. Friday at 7. Friday arrived. Amara stood in front of her closet for 30 minutes. For dresses. All old. All from thrift stores. She chose the navy blue one. Simple. Elegant as she could manage. Her roommate walked by. Where are you going all dressed up? Just dinner with a friend. Is this the guy you used to feed when you were kids? Amara smiled. Yeah. Girl, that man is in love with you. Has been for 25 years. Elijah arrived exactly at 7 p.m. Simple black suit. Holding wildflowers. You remembered, Amara said, taking them. You said you liked things that grow wild. Not forced. They drove to a restaurant on the waterfront. Not the fanciest place in Seattle, but beautiful, intimate, a place where you go to really talk. The hostess greeted Elijah by name. Mr. Cross, your table is ready. Private corner. View of the sound. Candlelight. String lights. Amara felt overwhelmed. Elijah, this is too much. Please, let me give you one beautiful evening. Amara relaxed. The food was incredible, but better than that, the conversation. They talked about books, music, dreams, fears. Amara opened up about her past. The years after that last day. How she'd survived. Foster care eventually found her. 3 different homes. Aging out at 18 with nothing. I worked 3 jobs to put myself through community college, she said. Took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree. Some nights I had to choose between food and textbooks. Food security? Yeah, because I kept thinking about you, about how hunger feels. I wanted to make sure no one else had to feel that. Elijah's throat tightened. Amara continued. Dating never worked out. Men either wanted to save me, which I hated, or they couldn't understand why I gave so much away. I don't want to save you, Elijah said. You're not broken. You're the strongest person I've ever known. Thank you. After dinner, Elijah said, Can I show you something? What?
À surprise.
Trust me. Amara nodded. They drove to Pike Place Market, to a specific alley. Late evening, nearly empty. The market lights glowed softly. Elijah led her to a spot behind what used to be a grocery store. I need to tell you something, he said. They stood there. Elijah pulled out his phone, showed her a photo. A young man, maybe 20, clearly homeless, sitting in this exact spot. Amara looked closer. Is that you? Yes. He swiped to the next photo. Same spot, different angle. The market sign in the background. After I aged out of foster care at 18, I had nothing. I came back here, lived on the streets for 8 months, dug through dumpsters for food. Amara's hand covered her mouth. Every night, Elijah continued, I'd sit right here, in this spot, where you used to feed me, and I'd touch this wrapper. He showed her the wrapper in the photo, tucked in his pocket. Every single night, I'd say, Amara believed in me. I can't give up. I have to find her. I have to keep my promise. Amara was crying. Elijah swiped to the next image. A map of Seattle. 17 red pins. These are properties I own. All within 3 miles of here. Amara stared. All of them. Every one. Because I knew if you survived, if you stayed in Seattle, you'd be here. Feeding people. That's who you are. You've been looking all this time. 6 years actively searching. 25 years never forgetting. Elijah pulled out architectural plans. These are for the new community center. Look at the dedication. Amara read through tears. The Amara Jenkins Center for Food Justice. In honor of the girl who taught me that one sandwich can change the world. She couldn't speak. I was going to surprise you at the opening, Elijah said. But I need you to understand something. He took both her hands. Everything I built, every dollar, every decision, every meal program, I made it thinking of you, asking myself, would Amara be proud? Would this honor what she taught me? Amara was shaking. You didn't just give me food, Amara. You saw me. When everyone looked away, when everyone stepped over me like I was trash, you saw me. You treated me like I mattered. His voice broke. Do you know what that does to a child who believes he's worthless? Who wants to die? You gave me hope. You gave me love. You gave me a reason to survive. Elijah, I just gave you sandwiches. No, he interrupted. You gave me everything that matters. He moved closer. I told you I'd make sure you never went hungry again. But Amara, I don't want to take care of you because I owe you. Amara's breath stopped. I want to take care of you because over these weeks, I've fallen in love with you all over again. Elijah, the girl who saved me grew into the most incredible woman I've ever known. Still feeding people. Still sacrificing. Still choosing kindness when the world gives you every reason to be bitter. I don't know what to say. I know it's fast, Elijah said. We just reconnected. But I've loved you for 25 years. I don't want to waste another day pretending I don't. Amara was crying and laughing. This is insane. If it's too much, tell me. I'll wait as long as you need. Amara looked at him. Saw the 9-year-old boy she'd saved in the man before her. I don't know if I'm in love with you yet, she said honestly. But I want to find out. Elijah's face lit up. Yeah, yeah. They moved together, foreheads touching, tears mixing. I'm going to spend my life making you as happy as you made me, Elijah whispered. You already have. They kissed, tender, meaningful, 25 years in the making. When they pulled apart, both were smiling through tears. Amara's phone rang. She checked it. Work emergency. Elijah stood immediately. Let me drive you. They rushed to help a family in crisis. Got them food. Found them temporary housing. Made sure the kids were fed and safe. Working together, Elijah saw Amara in action. Her compassion, her strength, her absolute dedication. He fell deeper in love. By midnight, they reached Amara's apartment. At her door, she turned. Thank you for tonight. For everything. Thank you for giving me a chance. Silence. Elijah, that food program you mentioned. The emergency pantries. Were you serious about expanding it? Very serious. I want to create something that actually ends hunger. Amara's eyes filled. I want to help you build it. I was hoping you'd say that. They stood close, neither wanting the night to end. I should go in, Amara said softly. I know. Neither moved. Finally, Elijah stepped back. Good night, Amara. Good night. He watched her go inside, waited until her light came on. Then he looked at the wrapper on his keychain. She's falling too. Upstairs, Amara leaned against her door, hand over her heart. I'm falling, she whispered. I'm really falling for him. For the first time in 25 years, the impossible felt possible. The next morning, Elijah called his legal team. I need to set up a foundation. Immediately. What kind of foundation, Mr. Cross? For food security, hunger relief, comprehensive nutrition support, meal programs, community kitchens, everything. Pause. Budget. $15 million to start. Renewable annually. 3 weeks later, Elijah invited Amara to his office. She walked in, overwhelmed. Floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture, success everywhere. This is where you work? Elijah smiled. Most days, but I'd rather be at the community kitchen with you. Why am I here? I have something to show you. Sit. Amara sat. Elijah pulled up a presentation on the screen. The Sandwich Project. Amara's eyes widened. Elijah clicked through slides. Comprehensive food security program. All ages. All circumstances. He detailed the services. Emergency food pantries. 24/7 access. Community kitchens. Free hot meals daily. Food delivery for homebound individuals. And nutrition education. Cooking classes. Urban farming programs. School meal programs. Senior meal services. Budget. $15 million first year. Goal. Serve 5,000 people daily. Eliminate food insecurity in South Seattle within 5 years. I've partnered with 20 Seattle restaurants and farms, Elijah continued. They'll donate surplus food, provide training, create jobs. Next slide. But the program needs a director. Someone who understands hunger from the inside. Someone who's earned the community's trust. Amara's heart raced. Someone like you. Elijah handed her a folder. Inside, a formal job offer. Executive Director, The Sandwich Project. Salary, $145,000 per year. Full benefits. Staff of 15. Complete operational control. Amara stared at the numbers. Her current salary was $38,000. Elijah, this is a real job, not charity. You'd work harder than you've ever worked. Board meetings, quarterly reports, budget management, fundraising, program development. I don't have experience running something this big. Elijah sat beside her. You have something better. You've lived it. You know exactly what hunger feels like, what dignity requires, what support actually means. Amara looked at the offer, hands trembling. And Amara, this is separate from us. Whatever happens between us personally, this program stands. You'll have a contract, legal protections. This isn't contingent on our relationship. Amara exhaled. She'd been worried about that. I want you to take this job because it's right for you and the people we'll serve. Not because you feel obligated to me. Amara stood, walked to the window, looked out at the city. I've spent my whole adult life watching people go hungry, knowing the system is broken, knowing I can't feed them all. Her voice broke. And now you're offering me a chance to actually fix things, to build something better. It's overwhelming. Elijah walked to her. Think about Teresa, about all the families like hers, like we were. We can feed them. Why me? You could hire someone with a degree in nonprofit management. Because you care. Because you see people as people, not statistics. Because 25 years ago, you proved you'll starve yourself to feed someone else. Amara's tears fell. What if I fail? Then we learn and try again. But Amara, I don't think you'll fail. I think you'll change thousands of lives. Amara looked at the folder again. Read the details, the scope, the possibilities. Can I make changes? Design the program my way. That's why I want you. Your vision, your expertise. I provide funding and business support. You make all program decisions. And if we disagree? Elijah smiled. Then you win. This is your program. Amara laughed through tears. You'd really give me that much control? Yes, because I trust you. I've trusted you since I was 9 years old. Amara sat back down. Read through the entire proposal. Asked questions. Elijah answered honestly. Finally, she looked up. I have conditions. Name them. I want to hire from the communities we serve. Staff should include people who've experienced food insecurity. Done. I want advisory boards made up of people currently struggling with hunger. Real decision-making power. Not token representation. Absolutely. And I want to keep volunteering 1 day a week at my current kitchen. With my current clients. So I never forget why we're doing this. Elijah nodded. We'll write that into your contract. Amara took a deep breath. Then yes, I'll do it. Let's feed some people. Elijah's smile was radiant. Thank you. They shook hands, professional. Then hugged, personal. We're going to change the world, Elijah said. We already did, Amara replied. Each other's. Over the next 2 months, everything moved fast. Contracts signed. Staff hired. Kitchen facilities secured in one of Elijah's buildings, right in Pioneer Square, where it all began. Amara gave notice at her old job. Bittersweet goodbyes. Her co-workers cried. You deserve this. The program launched quietly. No press, just work. Amara interviewed the first team, 40 volunteers, ages 16 to 72, all with lived experience of hunger. She met Teresa again, now with a stable job, feeding her kids regularly. You're in, Teresa. We need someone who understands. Will you help us? Teresa cried. You're giving me a job? You've earned it. Amara hired carefully. An assistant director who'd survived homelessness. A kitchen manager who'd raised kids on food stamps. A nutrition educator who'd been food insecure herself. A volunteer coordinator who understood what hunger does to dignity. Together, they built something real. Within 3 months, 5 community kitchens serving 3,000 hot meals daily. 12 emergency food pantries open 24/7. 847 families receiving regular food deliveries. 0 people turned away hungry. Dignity preserved. Always. Marcus, a 17-year-old who hadn't eaten regularly in years, got 3 meals a day, started gaining weight, started smiling. He enrolled in the culinary training program, learned to cook, got a job at one of the partner restaurants. He called Amara crying. I never thought I'd have a future. You earned it, Marcus. Keep going. Every Friday, Elijah and Amara had dinner, sometimes strategy sessions, sometimes just dates. The line between professional and personal blurred, but it felt right. One evening, 6 months in, Amara said, I never thanked you properly. For what? For believing I could do this. For trusting me with something so important. Elijah took her hand. You gave me life. I'm giving you the resources to give life to others. Amara kissed him. soft and sweet. I'm in love with you, Elijah Cross. I've been in love with you for 25 years, Amara Jenkins. They laughed, held each other. Outside, Seattle sparkled with possibility. And somewhere people were eating, getting hope, getting second chances, because two people kept a promise. 1 year passed. The Sandwich Project served 1.2 million meals in its first year. 94% of participants reported improved food security. 0 hunger-related hospitalizations among program participants. 3,847 people enrolled in nutrition education. 567 jobs created in food service. But numbers didn't tell the real story. People did. Marcus graduated from culinary school.
Became a sous-chef.
Salary, $52,000 per year. He called Amara on graduation day. I never thought I'd have a career. You always had the potential, Marcus. Now you have the tools. Marcus started a meal program at his restaurant. Fed homeless youth every Sunday. Free. Paying it forward, he said. Like you taught me. Destiny, 16, had been living on the streets. Eating from dumpsters. The program found her. Fed her. Got her into school. Helped her heal. She graduated high school. Full scholarship to Culinary Institute. I want to be like Ms. Amara. I want to feed people. Carlos, 53, had been food insecure for 12 years. Elijah met with Carlos personally. Shared his own story. The hunger. The wrapper. The hope. You're not worthless, Elijah said. You deserve to eat. Carlos started receiving daily meals. Got healthy. Enrolled in job training. 6 months later, he smiled for the first time in years. I want to volunteer. Help feed others like you fed me. The program's impact rippled through Seattle. Local restaurants partnered. Donated surplus food daily. Grocery stores contributed. Reduced food waste by 40%. Farms participated. Delivered fresh produce weekly. The city saw improved health outcomes. Reduced emergency room visits. Increased school attendance. 12 schools created breakfast and lunch programs. 1,247 students now eating regularly. Test scores improved by an average of 18%. Attendance up 23%. The media noticed. Seattle Times ran a feature, The Sandwich That Changed a City. The reporter asked Elijah and Amara, "You two make quite a team. Is it all business?" They exchanged a look. Smiled. "We're partners," Amara said. "In every sense that matters." NPR picked up the story. From starving to billionaire. The love story behind Seattle's food revolution. The full story aired. Elijah's childhood. Amara feeding him. The promise. The reunion. Social media exploded. #SandwichPromise trended nationally. Millions of views. People started sandwich challenges. Feeding one homeless person weekly. The movement went viral. Celebrities participated. $6.2 million raised for hunger relief programs nationwide. 60 Minutes filmed a segment. The Sandwich Project. Can Love End Hunger? Premiered nationally. Won awards. Changed the conversation. Washington state legislature passed the Food Security Act. Increased state funding for meal programs by $75 million. Elijah and Amara testified before the committee. 34 cities launched similar programs. The Cross model became a blueprint. Columbia University wrote a case study. Portland launched a program. Then San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver. By year's end, 52 cities had Sandwich Project-inspired programs. Amara became a sought-after speaker, but she never forgot where she started. Every Thursday, she worked at her original kitchen, served meals, talked to people. Elijah joined her sometimes, washed dishes, listened to stories. One evening, at the one-year anniversary gala, 700 people filled the ballroom. Donors, partners, media, community leaders, program participants. Amara stood backstage, nervous. Elijah found her. You okay? Just thinking about how far we've come. Amara took his hand. Elijah, when you go on stage tonight, I want you to know something. What? I'm ready. Ready for what? Amara smiled. You made me a promise 25 years ago. I think it's time. Elijah's eyes widened. Amara, I love you. I'm in love with you. And I want to spend my life with you. Elijah pulled her close. Are you saying? I'm saying when you ask, the answer is yes. Elijah laughed, cried, kissed her. I've been carrying a ring for 2 months. Tonight's the right moment. They walked on stage together, hand in hand. Elijah spoke about the program, the success, the future. Then he paused, looked at Amara. But none of this would exist without one person. He turned to face her fully. Amara Jenkins saved my life 25 years ago. The crowd applauded. Elijah got down on one knee. The room gasped. He pulled out a simple ring. A small turquoise stone, the color of the wrapper they'd kept. Amara Jenkins. 25 years ago, I promised I'd make sure you never went hungry again. But you've fed my soul in ways I never imagined. Will you marry me? Amara was crying, smiling. Yes, yes, I'll marry you. The room erupted. Standing ovation. Cheers. Tears everywhere. They kissed. After 25 years, the promise was kept. 18 months later, the wedding was small. 150 guests. The Pike Place Market. Behind the old grocery store where Amara first fed Elijah. The city had helped them create a memorial garden there. A plaque read, "Where kindness began, where one sandwich changed 2 lives." Sandwich wrappers decorated everything. Colorful, representing years of love and meals shared. Amara walked down the aisle. Her foster mother, the one good one who'd stayed in touch, escorted her. Both crying. Elijah stood at the altar, crying too. They exchanged vows. Amara, Elijah began, voice shaking. When I was 9 and starving to death, you fed me. When I was invisible, you saw me. You gave me a reason to live. I promised to show up for you every single day. To love you completely. Forever. Elijah, Amara said through tears. You took a sandwich and turned it into a movement. You took a wrapper and turned it into a legacy. I promised to be your partner. To remind you every day that you were always worthy. Even before you were rich. Especially before you were rich. They kissed as husband and wife. The reception was at the Amara Jenkins Center. Program participants performed.
Sang.
Shared stories of meals received. Lives changed. Marcus gave a toast. To the couple who taught us that family is who chooses to feed you, who chooses to see you, who chooses to stay. After the celebration, Elijah and Amara walked to the memorial garden. They placed fresh sandwiches at the plaque. An offering, a tradition they'd continue. For the next person who needs hope, Elijah said. A young girl approached, maybe 7 years old. Latina. Thin. Hungry looking. Excuse me, she said quietly. Do you have any food? I haven't eaten today. Elijah and Amara looked at each other, hearts breaking and soaring at the same time. Amara knelt down. Come with us, sweetheart. Let's get you something to eat. They brought the girl, her name was Sophia, inside. Fed her. A warm meal. Soup. Sandwich. Fruit. Milk. Got her warm clothes. Called social services to make sure she was safe. Sophia ate slowly, savoring every bite. Why are you helping me? She asked. Amara touched her wallet, the wrapper half inside. Because someone once helped him, she pointed to Elijah. Elijah pulled out a new sandwich wrapper. Wrote on it, You matter. You are loved. Gave it to Sophia. Keep this. Remember, someone believes in you. You're going to be okay. I promise. Sophia held the wrapper. Thank you. As Sophia left with a social worker who'd find her safe placement, Amara leaned into Elijah. The cycle continues. Forever, Elijah agreed. They looked at the building. Lights glowing. People inside. Eating. Laughing. Healing. Building futures. The Sandwich Project had served 4.2 million meals in 2 years, replicated in 52 cities. Every participant received a wrapper with an encouraging message. A reminder, promise. Elijah and Amara walked inside, hand in hand. Behind them, hundreds of sandwich wrappers hung on the fence, each representing a life touched, promise kept, kindness continuing. They were expecting their first child, a daughter they planned to name Grace. If you're watching this and you're struggling right now, if you're hungry, food insecure, skipping meals, alone, please don't give up. Someone out there is looking for you. Your Amara is coming. Your Elijah is coming. Hold on. And if you're watching this and you have something to give, even if it's just a sandwich, even if you think it won't matter, give it. You never know whose life you'll change. A sandwich changed Elijah's life. A wrapper gave him hope. Promise brought him home. What will you give? What promise will you keep? Amara taught Elijah that kindness isn't a transaction. It's an investment in a future you'll never see. But that future is real. There's 4.2 million meals, 52 cities, countless lives touched. Started with one girl, one sandwich, one choice to care. Your choice matters too. Share the story. Spread kindness. Buy a sandwich for someone who needs it. Commit to helping one hungry person. And remember, love keeps its promises. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if it touched your heart. Subscribe if you believe one meal can change a life. Comment below. When has someone's kindness fed your soul? On their wedding day, another hungry child appeared. Elijah and Amara fed her, helped her. The cycle continues. Being rich doesn't make you powerful. Being kind does. What do you have today that could feed someone's tomorrow? Start now.